Imagine the year 1995, summertime. Humid, sticky sunshine, kids laughing and joking, handmade balls, ducking and diving, playing in the sun. It's time, man, it's time, man. Look up. An aeroplane. The game stops as we all look up in awe, past the clouds, pleading, begging, Mr. Aeroplane, please bring me sweets, please bring me meat. Me, I want a sister. The pleading continues until it disappears to oblivion. So you can imagine my joy when our local township school said we were going to the airport. And then we arrived. Tarmac, and probably the most beautiful piece of machinery I'd ever seen in my life. Captain was there, air hostesses with beautiful bows, looking like they came out of a magazine. They told us all about how airplanes work. They even had a bathroom in an airplane. We listened attentively, and then the big question came. How do you deliver the baby's toys and sweets? We don't do that. We actually deliver human beings. Who buys babies' toys and sweets? It was in that moment I was disappointed. An aeroplane was just a big bus. But wherever it is that they get the babies' toys and sweets, that's what I was going to do with my life. I'm going to travel, I thought. That single experience opened up what my career could potentially be. Had I not seen an aeroplane, I most likely would have wanted to be a teacher, a nurse, or maybe just the girlfriend of a gangster. So many of us choose our careers based on the exposure that we had. And if we don't do that, we tend to stumble into our careers. I think of my client in Paul, like so many young Africans, leaving her village or her township to bright lights where university could potentially be, graduating, waiting patiently for a job, hoping that a listed company would choose her. Then the job arrives. Spend a few years working, get a mortgage, get more debt, and wake up realizing this is not what you signed up for. The best example of this is my client, Rebecca. She called me on a Sunday, Vumi, we need to talk urgently. I need a coaching session. I arrived. Dramatic sigh. Vumi, help. I hate my job. My boss is the devil incarnate. I am bored out of my mind. I cannot continue to do this. Why did you take the job? Because it was offered to me. In the world, we find ourselves, specifically in Africa, with our unemployment in most countries being between 20 to 40%. We don't choose our careers, we allow them to happen to us. In Zulu, we say, if you don't know where you're going, any road is going to take you there. It is important that we start having a clear destination for our careers. Going into corporate, very aware as to what it is that we're trying to learn. There are usually two types of career destinations. The first is working your way all the way up to the C-suite. The second is becoming an entrepreneur. Either way, by knowing where it is that you're going, what you can get from corporate is fundamentally different. You see, most corporates are divided into administration, the repetitive work that you do when you start, that bores you out of your mind. The second being tactical, when you start getting exposure to leadership and managing people. The third, operational, where you find yourself finally rolling out somebody else's vision. And the fourth, what most of us dream of, the C-suite, where you create strategies and visions as to where your organization is going to go. So if you're deciding that you want to be in the C-suite, you need to master every single one of these levels. But should you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, it's a little bit different. Client of mine from Nigeria, Tunde, with that typical West African entrepreneurial spirit, knew from the beginning. In our first session, Vumi, I'm going to own my own marketing firm. So we put together a strategy for him. Tunde, you use this opportunity in this telecommunications company to learn all about marketing, sales, finance, customer experience, product design, so that by the time you roll out your own organization, You've learned that. You've mastered that, not at the expense of yourself. Knowing this strategy changes things. You can be a Rebecca, where your career just sort of happens to you, or you can be a Tunde, where you are able to design where it is that you're wanting to go. So wherever you may find yourself, I think the next 4 B's most likely are going to help you. The first, bona, see. Where are you going? What is your destination? What does that look like? What gaps are there between where you are and where you're wanting to be? Use where you are to fill up those skills gaps. The second, buza, ask. Ask for a mentor, someone who can use their experience to leapfrog your learning. Ask for a sponsor, at least seek one, who can go into doors you cannot go into and be your advocate, giving you opportunities that you ordinarily would not have access to. Ask for a coach, someone who allows you to roll out your strategy for your career. The third, and probably the highest reason why most people are unhappy, ubuntu. I am because we are. How are you serving mankind? How are you showing up at work and it's being more than just the paycheck? Ubuntu is very, very important. It gives us our sense of purpose. And the fourth, and personally one of my favorites, bhatalwa. You must get paid. It's the reason we buy nice shoes. So my hope for you is that you don't look up to the skies for something that might fade away to bring you joy, but instead you are purposeful and intention in your career, that you fly towards your dream. Ngiyabonga.